Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. In this tutorial we're going to learn some of my top 5 settings that you should start using in this 2026 in ChatGPT so that you can optimize and enhance your productivity with this particular generic AI tool. I think ChatGPT is very powerful and it's our day-to-day friend. We always refer back to it. It's better for us to learn some of the key tips and settings that we can use to optimize our experience with it. So I have lined here my top 5. The first one might be to pin down charts. Okay, so assuming I'm on my chart over here, you can see the top 2 charts are pinned already. Okay, so the charts that you have that are mostly frequently used, you can always pin them over here. Like this one, you can just hover over these 3 dots, you can pin this particular chart, so you can have the most frequently visited charts. You can have them over here, and once you click, you should be able to have access to all of them and continue with your work. So this is undoable. You can still come to the 3 dots and you can unpin a particular chart and pin it again if you want to. Okay, so you can unpin and then you can pin it back if you so wish to pin again. So you can pin as many charts as you want, depending on your interest, depending on your choice. You can as well go ahead and pin in different kind of charts. Okay, so this is the first option. The second one is the use of the temporary charts. Okay, so once you come back to new chart, what you notice to the top right is this icon, turn on temporary chart. This is very helpful. The benefits once you turn it on is that this chart won't appear in history. Whatever you are chatting with, it will not be shown in the history. So it's just like an incognito mode in the Chrome browser or other browsers that we have. So this is not going to be visible, it's not going to be saved. So if you have a temporary thing that you just want to chat about, you can always on it so that you can have maximum productivity. It will not clog your memory. It is not going to be added within your chat as well. And update ChatGPT's memory or be used or update ChatGPT's memory or be used to train our models for safety purposes, and we may keep a copy of this chat for up to 30 days. Okay, so it's always referable. Don't think it's not there, it is always there. But the key thing is that your data is not going to be used for training the model. So if you have any of these, maybe you don't want your data to be captured or to be used in training the model, you can always turn on the temporary chat and also not to clog your memory. And once you are done chatting, you can always come back and turn off the temporary chat. Now, the third setting that I think everyone should start using in this 2026 is the group chat. Okay, so ChatGPT has made it possible now. You can start a group chat from here, and then you can say start a group chat. Over here, you have the option to chat with a number of your colleagues. You can chat with them directly. You can copy the link and you can share with them. Okay, so I created this link. I can invite the people via the link and they can join. And once I'm here, I can just go ahead and start chatting. You can go ahead and start chatting, and all the people that join will be able to join, and ChatGPT will not respond to my chat. Okay, so except if in cases when I do at ChatGPT, then it's going to directly respond based on my chat. Okay, so let's say it's going to say, ChatGPT, can you define acceleration for me? All right, so this is now going to be ChatGPT because I called on it. But once you have people join in the group chat, you can be privately having your conversations directly with them without the interference of ChatGPT in many cases. So that's when you have people in there, and you can always come over and have your group chat. You can rename it if you want to rename it. You can say departmental group chat, for example, and you can add different kind of members, different kind of projects, so you can work together with the help of this ChatGPT. Okay, so this is the third one. Now the fourth update or setting is the use of the developer mode, which you can access by coming to the settings over here. You can go straight to apps, and then you can come to advanced settings, and then you can see developer mode over here. So what this does is it allows you to add different kind of apps that you can be able to chat with directly. Memory is disabled also over here. So once you enable this and then you close it out on this, you can now come over to a new chat. If you are on the developer mode, this is what is going to happen. Memory is not used for this chat as well. So whatever you're going to use, whatever chat you're going to have, it's not going to be saved in here. And the advantage is that you can come over to this plus sign, you can come all the way down here, and you'll be able to have access to other explore apps that are here. Okay, so you can explore other apps. There are 1001 apps that you can explore. For example, you can add in Canva if you use Canva, so you can directly access your design and even change some things with the image generation feature of ChatGPT. Or you can add your Photoshop or any other application, maybe Zapier or Figma, depending, or Spotify. If you have anything, you can always call on your apps using maybe Lovable. If you click, you can add it up and be able to chat directly with your designs or your graphics. Okay, so for example, in Canva, you can search, you can create, you can edit designs directly once you connect this with your Canva account. So that's the beauty of the developer mode, which you can always turn at any given time. And of course, you can always go back and change the settings and turn off the developer mode if you're interested. For example, you can come all the way to the apps, go to advanced settings, and then you can turn off the developer mode if you're interested. Now, another key settings that I found exceptionally useful in ChatGPT that if you toggle or you can turn it on or off is the personalization. You can come to personalization and go to settings over here, or you can go to personalization directly, or you can come over here and you can define how ChatGPT is going to respond to any of your prompts. It's not just going to be the normal default one that you do respond to. You can change a lot of things from here. For example, you can set the style, tone of how ChatGPT responds to you. You have a number of options over here. You have professional, friendly, dependent, quirky, efficient. You can see quite a number of them over here. If you don't know, if you are indifferent about the particular responsive style that it's going to give you, can keep it at default, or you can be as specific as you want. Let it be professional responding to you, the characteristics, how warm it should be, maybe less, you can say, and how enthusiastic, you can say less if you want to. And then headers, lists, you can enable or disable. Emojis, if you don't want to, you can say less of the emojis. And then custom instruction, for example, add behavior, style, or tone preferences. How do you want it to respond to you? You can do that as well. And you can tell ChatGPT a bit about you, your name, what should it call you, and then occupation, more about you. You can type in your interest, your value, your preferences. These are very key settings that are peculiar to you, that if you input it, is going to help ChatGPT in tailoring the kind of response it is going to give you. Now, you should be mindful of the memory usage as well, so you can learn more. You can also manage your memory. You can search from the available charts, and you can delete any chart that you are interested by just coming to this three dot. You can delete that particular chart. So depending on your interest, okay, so you can go ahead, come down, you can search a particular chart directly. Once you're here, you can just come over and you can delete that chart, and it's going to reduce part of the memory from. Okay, so you should be wary of the memory that you have. You can be managing it directly. Now, other preferences are reference saved memories, reference chat history. You can keep all of this, very important, but if you don't want, you can always turn off. And then we have the advanced settings, which you should always look at. Make sure everything here is put on, especially the web search, the code, the canvas, the ChatGPT voice. You can enable all of this and disable advanced voice. You can enable connector search. This lets ChatGPT automatically search connected sources for answers. If you're interested in that, you can also enable this. So these are very basic things that you can always refer to and then have ChatGPT to correct. But in most cases, you can keep everything at default if you don't want very specific responses. All right, so basically that is my top 5 settings that you can always play around with. And then you should be wary of the kind of responses that you're going to give ChatGPT. You can have great images, thinking, deep research if you want to do research, and then study and learn. And then you have the web feature. You can enable the canvas feature. So here with ChatGPT, you can have direct overview of your year. The quizzes, if you want to generate quizzes, you can be very, very detailed about what you are interested in creating. This basically concludes this simple tutorial about the little settings that you can tweak to improve your productivity and your performance, and even make you enjoy the use of your ChatGPT in 2026. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.